That's a good tea. That's a good tea. That's a good tea. I'm just. Am I gonna start the episodes by saying that's a good tea? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. But yeah, man. Hey, I don't know how to start this thing. I don't know how to start an episode without laughing. Like genuinely, I don't know how to start an episode without laughing. I don't even think it's possible. But yeah, man, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench. Welcome to the bench with your boy Franklin. I tried saying it with your boy Franklin, but it doesn't sound it sounded stupid. I don't know. Why am I dragging Franklin? It doesn't sound right. So yeah, welcome to the board. Sorry, don't mind me. It's been a very long day, you know. You know, you have a long day and you just need to settle in its nerves. Um, but yeah, welcome to the bench with your boy Franklin. It's been 2 weeks since you last saw me. Woo. But welcome, man. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling safe. I hope you're feeling fresh. I hope you're not doing anyhow. I hope you're not doing anyhow. Ah, man, where do I even start? I don't know. First of all, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling actually like I'm feeling very solid these days. It's so funny. The last time I said I'm feeling solid, the next 2, 3 months were just absolute chaos. So I'm not even allowed to say that. But I don't know. Genuinely, I'm feeling good these days. I'm feeling a lot more like mentally able, a lot more mentally capable. I've been having some conversations with my therapist just in terms of like managing my mental workflow. Do you know what I mean? Managing my mental workflow in terms of like managing my thinking and managing my processes. Like that's a lot of what CBT is. And I think for the past 2, 3 months, she was just like, yo, like you are thinking too damn hard. Everything is such a high stakes decision for you. She said you need to calm down. You need to get a grip. So I'm finally getting that grip. I'm finally getting that grip. I'm finally sort of just taking it easier on my mind, taking it easier like in the stuff I'm doing. Actually just chilling out and realizing that like the world isn't gonna end anytime soon. Or maybe it is. Jesus is on his way. But like the world isn't gonna end anytime soon and everything is gonna be okay. And I guess switching it to a faith perspective, like if God really is in control and Jesus really is the savior of the universe, then what am I so scared of? Like, what is actually gonna happen? So yeah, that's been fun. Mental stability is very, very fun. Guy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Oh, I have extra energy today. Okay, that's good. Guy, mental stability is fun. Just being able to like get through your day, being able to like function and process stuff without fear, worry, anxiety, without feeling like the weight of the world is hanging on that one decision is very, very fun. And I don't know. I'm making the most of it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm starting to like explore things that I had put down just because of like anxiety and fear. So started reading a lot again, which has been fun. Started listening to music again. Started gaming again, which has also been really fun. Mm. So yeah, like that's been cool. That's been cool. Our last guest, our last guest, Mandizi and Anizi. We had Mandy Goma. Our last guest was Mandy, man. She was guy. Mandy was really something, man. Mandy was honestly really something. Like she's a character first of all. Mandy's a real character first of all. Like in the space of the 46 minutes that she was on the bench, she had 5 to 7 different accents. She sang, she laughed, she joked, she played. I was like, yeah, like this is exactly who I want to be on the bench. Like shout out Mandy, man. Shout out Mandy for real. Shout out Mandy for real. Like Mandy's actually one of my favorite people ever. Don't tell her I said that. She's actually a clown. and my favorite person. Well, one of my favorite people ever. But like, yeah, it was so cool and it was so fun to have her on. How did me and Mandy even meet? I think, yeah, it was pretty much what she said. Like, I went to ACS. As a grown man, that's not the place for me to be. I went to ACS, like UCC ACS. They had like this event. I can't even remember what the event was, but after the event, I don't know. I don't even know why I said hi to her. Cause like I think I was standing outside waiting for my friend. Like there wasn't no like Holy Spirit inspiration, talk to this person. But like it was nothing like that. It was just like I don't know. She just walked out. And I think I said hi to her friend and I said hi to her. And I was talking to her friend and I saw his hair. His hair was really nice. So I was like, yo, who did your hair? And he pointed at Mandy. So I was like, oh, you do hair. Like, could you do mine? So she was like, yeah, yeah, I could do yours. Like, I'll have a look at your hair. We'll see what we could work out. So I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Like, someone that could do my hair. Let me see what she's about. So I took her Insta. I think I wrote it down, and maybe like a month later, I booked a hair appointment with her. Cool, rocked up to the hair appointment. I kind of like, I ended up there like 15 minutes late. She said something about me being late. I almost kick her in her leg. I said, shut up your mouth. I'm actually talking anyhow today. Let Mandy not come and beat me. But yeah, like I rocked up to the hair appointment, sat down in her chair, and like she had her laptop connected up to her monitor. And on the monitor, I saw these words, and it was like, why should I follow Jesus? Or something along those lines. And like that was her wallpaper. So I was immediately intrigued. Like I was immediately interested. I was like, oh, what's that? So like she explained it to me like it was part of this thing that they were doing as part of like UCC Christian Union, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. And then I think I asked her, I was like, what does it mean to follow Jesus for you? Like, what is that for you? Like, what does that feel like? What does that sound like? Keep in mind, all this is happening while she's doing my hair. So, like, she's gripping and manhandling my scalp. And we're having this conversation. So, we're having this conversation. And I was like, yo, like, for you, what does it mean to follow Jesus? And I remember what she said. It was so cool what she said. Because the answer she gave was so personal. She was like, for me, at the moment, following Jesus feels a bit weird and unstable because it feels like I've taken off my spiritual crutches, I've taken up my spiritual training wheels, and I'm learning to walk on my own. And the reason for that was she had been living with her sister. I hope it's her sister. I think it's her sister. She had been living with her sister. So, like, her sister would wake her up early in the morning, they'd pray together, they'd worship together, they'd do Bible study together. So like a lot of her spiritual building up and like a lot of her spiritual structure was kind of built on and around what her sister did. So she just did things with her sister when her sister did them. And that was her structure. And like she was saying on the episode, she moved out of staying with her sister and she moved into her own place. And she was like, yo, I'm trying to figure out what my current balance with God is. I'm trying to figure out what's our thing and where's our thing and how is this actually going to work. I think she was saying to me like her sister used to like pray in the morning, but she actually finds it much more like she finds that she actually prefers praying in the evening. She finds that her Bible study flows a little bit different, her worship flows a little bit different. And I was like, raw, like that's such a personal answer. That's such a personal answer. It's not one. It wasn't one of those like, I don't know. I want to read my Bible more. I feel like I should pray more. And like, not even saying that those are bad, but it was such a personal answer in the sense of like, my heart is invested into this faith. My heart is invested into building a relationship with Jesus. And currently, I'm trying to understand what that looks like outside of my older sister. Outside of my older sister. And I don't know. As soon as I heard that answer, I was like, you know what? I actually really want to be friends with this person. Like, I really, really want to be friends with this person because that's my vibe. On a, what's your personal relationship with Jesus like? What have you two got going on? Like, what's your vibe? What's your thing? Like, how does it work between you guys? Like, are you struggling? Are you figuring out? Are you vibing? Like, what's the vibe? Like, are you just here, or are you actively mentally engaged in this faith and figuring out what you want to do and how you want it to work? So it was really like, it was a really good answer. And I really liked the answer. So as we were talking, I started telling her what my, or like what following Jesus looks like for me and what it feels like. And I told her about the bench. And she was like, Rod, that's really cool. She was saying, Rod, that's really cool. Like, in my mind at that point, I was like, I'm going to bring you on at some point. You don't know it yet, but I'm going to get you. um, so yeah, the hair appointment was great. She did my hair. The hair was really nice as well. Um, yeah, I think at the end of the hair appointment, I was just like, yeah, yeah, that was actually really cool. I left. I think, did we talk again after that? I don't think we talked again after that. I don't think we talked again after that for like a month until my next hair appointment. So I went for my next hair appointment with her, and like we had a similar conversation. We were just talking about like faith and life and the human experience. Like, we literally sat on the bench as she was doing my hair. And we're just talking like, how does this faith stuff look for you? Like, how does it feel for you? How does it work? Like, where does Jesus touch your heart? Or where is he touching right now? Like, what is he working on and working through with you? And again, like, all the answers she was giving were so like personal. Like, it showed engagement with Jesus. It went further than, oh yeah, I just read my Bible sometimes, you know what I mean? I go to church sometimes, like, and I'm not saying those are bad again, but it's more like there was skin in the game with those answers. You feel me? So like, I was like, yeah, I'll be sorry, I really want to build a friendship here. I want to maintain this friendship. So like, the hair appointment lasted for like an hour. And I think after the hair appointment, we talked for another hour. I think this was like my second time. This is like my second time meeting her and talking to her. And I was like, yo, could you please come on the bench? I want you to go on the bench. I need you to go say some words on the bench because these things you're saying to me are crazy. I need you to share them with everybody. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We've been besties since. We've been best friends ever since. Yeah, we've been best friends ever since. I can't even lie. Like, that's bro. Well, sis. But, like, we've been best friends ever since. Like, she's so. I know she's gonna watch this and she's gonna be cracking up. But we've been best friends since. Like, it's nice to have a friend. And, like, I have multiple Christian friends, and, like, we all talk about our faith. But to the level that we were talking about our faith, like a deep kind of emotional level, like literally, where does Jesus touch your heart? It was so nice and so refreshing to have those conversations. So yeah, like, that's bro. Like, even on the day that Mandy came to record, we sat literally just there. Well, you can't see it, but like, we sat and we talked for 2 hours just about random stuff before she sat on the bench. And then we talked for another 2 hours after she recorded. And like, we would just talk about stuff, but like, it's so nice and it's so like refreshing to make a friend and to have a friend that you can be honest with and you can be open with and that you can share your heart with. And the person will share their heart back to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so nice to like, I don't know, it's so nice to pour out your heart and then someone reciprocates that. It's just a great experience. And like, that's the kind of friendship that I don't know, I feel like we're building, which is fun. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's been enjoyable. But shout out Mandy, man. She came on the bench and she said some words. Bro, she said some words. Like, I was sitting in the corner and I was trying not to interrupt, but she was saying some words, man. She was saying some heavy stuff. Um, I've watched her episode twice. Wait, I'm gonna grab a quick sip here. My mouth is getting kind of dry. What you call it? I watched her episode twice, and I think there was something that really jumped out for me in terms of what she said about control. Like, obviously, fear and anxiety, yes, but control. And when she said that her whole personality is built around that fear and that control, where in a lot of the spaces that she's in, you'll find her in a place of leadership. In a lot of spaces that she's in, she's always the one like coordinating and setting stuff up. And that just really, like, I found that really, really interesting. And like, it got me thinking because from the outside looking in, you would see someone in a position of always authority and always organizing and setting things up. Like, you'd see someone in so many positions of power, and you would think, oh wow, like this person is so smart, this person is so blessed, and this person is so like on job with everything they're doing. But in their mind, the only reason that person is actually there, or not the only reason, some of the reasons for some of those spaces, in some of those spaces, the only reason that that person is actually there is because it's a fear reaction. So them being in a position of power is just so they can control the situation, so they wouldn't be so afraid. And I found that so interesting because, like, we look up to so many people. We look up to so many people. And we look at the things they're doing and we wish we were in their position. But we don't actually know why they're there. And we don't know what their experience of being there even is. So we don't even know if they're enjoying it or if they're not enjoying it. We don't even know if it's satisfying them. We don't know if they're in pain or they're suffering or they're enjoying it. Like, we don't know what their experience of that space is. We just see someone in a space that looks good. We see them doing something that looks good and we look up to them and wish they were doing something good. But like, hearing that really just reminded me, like, it's never about the place and it's never about the thing you're doing. It is always about the experience of that place and the experience of what you're doing. It was just a huge reminder because, like, I know myself that there's been so many different spaces that I've been in where I'm doing something that looks good from the outside looking in, but on the inside I feel miserable, or on the inside I feel scared, or on the inside I feel confused. So while people are looking at me and like admiring me, I'm not even able to enjoy the space that I'm in. I'm not even be able to enjoy whatever it is that I'm doing. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm not able to enjoy the fruits of this labor. Like, I'm just not, do you know? So it was a very cool reminder. It was a very cool reminder. And she gave us a worship session at the end. Fair enough, it was 1 minute, but she was vocalizing. Hey, I said, yeah. I said, yeah. She's coming back. I told her she's coming back. She has to give us a full 5 minutes of worship. She's coming back. I've got some more cool guests as well. I'm so excited. But um but yeah, it was so nice to have Mandy on, man. Big shout out to Mandy. Big shout out to Mandy for real. That's my dog. But yeah, wait, another quick sip actually. Also, as you can see, your boy has got a new mic. It's even got a stand, guy. I'm sitting here. Aye, guy. Like, I'm sitting here chilling. Got a new mic. This is courtesy of David Aluko. This is a present from David. Shout out David. So I'm testing out the new mic. Hopefully everything works fine. Did a bit of calibrating before I set up, but hopefully everything works fine. I guess one more thing I'm gonna get into on this episode. I knew this was gonna be a short-ish episode because I'm actually exhausted. But one more thing I want to get into on this episode was something I actually saw this week. Yeah, yeah. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Okay, so quick explanation, because I'm just gonna stick this into the video, so it's gonna look a bit weird. But quick explanation: what happened was yesterday I was recording, and then the camera cut out. But I was so tired, and it was so late. I think I spoke for like 50 minutes, and it was so late I couldn't like turn it back on and go again and finish that section. So I was like, alright, cool. I'll just come back and do it tomorrow and like finish off what I was trying to say. So this is now tomorrow, and I'm back to finish off what I was saying. So welcome back to the bench. Welcome back to the bench. I've got my trusty cup of tea here. You already know how it goes. Yay! That's a good tea. The love I have for peppermint tea needs to be studied. It needs to be studied because it's very dangerous. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. What was I even saying yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I was just sort of finishing off talking about the stuff I got from Mandy's episode and kind of moving into something that I had picked up recently, something that I had learned recently, and like something that's been transforming the way that I navigate my faith and like the way that I'm figuring stuff out. So, to kind of give some context, in the last episode that I recorded, so episode 8, Tea Time, I was talking about how Jesus gives the image of people as trees. So Jesus gives this image of people as trees, and trees are planted. So once he gives that image of trees, he puts this image into ourselves, into our heads of us as trees. And if we look at the different seasons and just the way that trees interact with the world, we see that it's very different to how we imagine ourselves to be. Because like we imagine ourselves to be these go-getters, these sort of like, I'm going to figure this out, I'm going to do all these things, I'm going to just dash my way through life. But when you look at trees, trees are a lot more stationary. So the trees themselves don't actually move. Trees are very much subject to their surroundings, and trees are very much subject to what they take in. So we have this image of ourselves as trees, and we're planted into a root system. So the type of fruits or the quality of the fruits that we put out is dependent on the quality of the nutrients that we're taking in. That's how trees work. Do you know what I mean? And trees go through a dynamic life cycle as well, in terms of the tree is subject to the weather and the conditions around it. Do you know what I mean? So like the tree doesn't actually have a say in a way. The tree just reacts to everything that's around it. And in the same way, we don't necessarily have as much as a say in life as we think we do. More time, we're just reacting to the conditions around us, and we're reacting to the situation we find ourselves in. And again, it's the quality of the nutrients that we're receiving from the roots, like that we're receiving from the ground that we're planted in, that dictates how we even react to the stimuli around us. So, one sec. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been going through recently. Just sort of looking at how does a tree, if Jesus gives this image of people as trees, how does a tree, like what does a tree do? How does a tree interact with the world? And again, like I did not study. Okay, I did biology and leave it, sir, but like I didn't study it to that level. Do you know what I mean? But just looking at the trees, like what we were saying the last time, the tree goes through different seasons in the year. And as it passes through those seasons, it's subjected to different types of weather. And the different types of weather dictate whether it's a fruit bearing season or whether it's a barren season. But what maintains the tree through the seasons is whether or not it's connected to the roots and whether or not it's picked up nutrients over the course of the year to sustain it through that winter season. That's what we're talking about. Another thing I've sort of been thinking about recently, though, is the fruits that the tree bears. So not just the fruits, the quality of the fruits that the tree bears. Because all trees, well, not all trees bear fruit, man. That's why the trees analogy is kind of weird. But like, if we're thinking about a tree that bears fruits, right? We're thinking about a tree that bears fruits. So, fruit bearing tree. some trees bear good fruits and some trees bear bad fruits. And you sort of look at a tree and be like, okay, why would one tree bear good fruits and why would one tree bear bad fruits? And at the end of the day, it comes down to the nutrients that the tree is receiving and where the tree has been planted. And that dictates the type of the fruit that the tree bears. So I'm just going to pull out a quick Bible verse here to kind of support that point. This isn't a sermon. This is just something that I saw that I've been trying to like understand and apply to myself. So I have it here. I think it was Matthew 7:17. Yeah. It was Matthew 7:17. Give me one quick second. Okay. Yeah. So Matthew 7:17, this is Jesus talking. And he's like, likewise, every good tree bears good fruits, but a bad tree bears bad fruits. A good tree cannot bear bad fruits, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruits. Every tree that does not bear good fruits is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will recognize them. And then in Matthew 12, I think it's 23. Matthew 12, 23, 33. Let me see. Yeah, Matthew 12:33. Make a tree good, and its fruit will be good. Or make a tree bad, and its fruit will be bad. For a tree is recognized by its fruits. So again, both of these is Jesus talking. And now he's sort of going into the fruit side of trees. Essentially, what we put out. So if we are these trees and we're planted in the ground, then we're receiving nutrients. And the nutrients is dictating the type of fruits that we put out. And it dictates whether it's good fruits or bad fruits. So for that, I've kind of come to understand like the nutrients is what we're taking in, kind of the information that we're taking in and the messages that are coming into our mind. And then the fruits would be what we're doing with those messages or like how those messages or how those things are impacting us. And Jesus is saying a bad tree cannot bear good fruit and a good tree cannot bear bad fruit. And what he's saying isn't necessarily that the tree itself is bad, but because of what the tree is taking in is bad, it can only put out bad stuff. The same way a tree, if it takes in good nutrients, cannot put out bad fruit. It's only gonna put out good fruit. It's a bit of a kind of weird one. Like I know it's hard to even put it into words. But just looking at trees, like trees don't get to choose what type of fruit they put out. Trees are completely indifferent. And sometimes we don't realize that we ourselves are kind of in our bodies we're indifferent. Like a lot of the stuff that happens in our bodies and in our minds is unconscious, so we don't actually realize what's going on. We're always just gravitating towards our default setting. And in the same way that trees don't get to choose what type of fruit they put out, it's just the quality of the nutrients that they're taking in, where they're planted, and the quality of, let me say, the sunlight they're receiving determines the quality of the fruit that they put out. Is the same way the quality of the nutrients that we are taking in as people, the quality of the messages, the quality of the places that we place ourselves, the quality of the friendships and the relationships we have dictate the quality of the fruits that we're putting out. So if we're thinking fruit, we're thinking the things that we're doing, the words that we're saying, the output that we have, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So if you ever want to understand, like, yo, I feel like I'm not putting out good fruit, I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, where you look isn't, oh, let me just do better. It's actually, what am I taking in? Like, what am I taking in that's causing me to put out stuff that's not good? Or what have I taken in that's causing me to put out stuff that's not beneficial? I think I was talking to the guys in Bible study about it at one point actually, because we were kind of just talking about like we're saying here, just in terms of like output. I want to put out, I want to put something out, I want to put more out, but I want to put good things out. Like I don't just want to put rubbish out. I don't want to put out for the sake of putting out. And we're kind of saying there's a lot of people that we would look at and we would look down on, and we'd say, oh, this person is a bad person, or this person is only doing bad things, they need to do better, blah, 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 all that type of stuff. But what we don't realize is that that person has been planted, like the nutrients that that person has received are bad. So they can't, all they can put out is bad because that's all they've ever taken in. Do you know what I mean? Their environment has always been bad. The people that have been around them have always been bad. The messages and the information that they received has always been bad. So like their mind has been tuned in a certain way that they can't even, they can't, like the person doesn't even understand that good exists, and it's completely not their fault. It's simply just down to the environment that they're in. So like it's really just hammered into me the importance of environment, and the importance of what you're taking in, and the importance of what you have taken in, and what it continues to bring out of you. Because there's such a there's such a huge emphasis right now on, oh yeah, mind what you're taking in, mind what you're surrounding yourself with, which is absolutely true. Like, do mind that. But at the same time, there's some stuff that we have taken in years ago that continue to influence us to this day, that continues to like dictate the type of fruits that we put out. Things that happened to us when we were younger, things that were said to us when we were younger. Like, I've been on a weird therapy journey for the past 2 years, and we've been dissecting some of the things that have been said to me over the years, and like how I took them on and what me taking on brought out of me. And it's just that sort of thing where like input, like literally what goes into you and what has gone into you is so important, because it will continue to dictate what you put out. You know what I mean? So very short one, but like I don't even know if that's really short. It's very hard to gauge how long I talk because I just be saying words. But yeah, I really like the analogy of us as trees. I really like the analogy of us as trees. It makes so much sense, and it really gives context to the way we should maneuver life and the way we should see ourselves. Like for me, it's helped me have a lot more grace towards myself. A lot more grace towards myself in terms of like, I'm not going to be productive throughout the entire year. I'm not going to be go, go, go all the time. But what I can do is make sure that I'm receiving good nutrients. What I can do is make sure that I am planted in the right place with the right people. What I can do is make sure that like I'm not in the shade. I'm spending time in the sunlight so the flowers in me can blossom. Do you know what I mean? Where I can, where I have influence, I will influence things in a positive way. And where I don't have influence, I will trust that me being planted means I'm receiving good nutrients to sustain me. Me being rooted in Christ means that I am secure and safe, you know? And if I'm not productive, if I'm not putting out in this season, fair enough. But there is going to be a season where I'm bearing fruit, and there is going to be a season where like people can eat of that fruit that I'm bearing. Like people can benefit from the good fruit that's coming out of me, you know? I'm not saying it. Nope. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. If David watches this, he's gonna know exactly what just happened. Very silly guy, man. but but yeah, yeah. The analogy of us as trees. The analogy of us as trees. I love it. I'm gonna do a bit more digging into it because there's so much more to the life cycle of a tree, and like there's so much more to what Jesus meant as us being trees. But that one is just a sort of short kind of talk through of the fruit bearing part of trees. I don't even, no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say, oh, I don't even know if I butchered it, blah, blah, blah. Nah, we're not doing that anymore. I said it as best as I could, and like, I hope someone was able to pick up what I was putting down, do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, we've kind of come to the end of today's episode. Like, it's funny because this was split over 2 days. This was really, really short. But yeah, this was cool though. I actually did enjoy this. This was fun. Um, but yeah, like I said before, I've got some other guests lined up. I've got some people in mind that I want to bring onto the bench. I've got some people that I've actually spoken to about coming onto the bench, and they're like, we'll see. And I'm like, guy, you need to make a decision quick. I have recordings to do, bro. We need to keep this thing moving. I'm joking. But also, actually, for anyone who is watching who would like to come on the bench, here's the extra incentive for coming on the bench, right? So I cook for my guests. I cook for all of my guests. Everybody that has come on has eaten good food. I bring people in. I'm cooking in the background as they're recording. Once they finish recording, we eat together and have a conversation. It's so fun. And all the people who have come and eaten really enjoyed the food. If you go and watch David's episode, he will tell you about the stew. His words, not mine, is a good stew. That's what David said. I'm just saying, you come on the bench, there's also good food to be had. So, hey, it's on you, man. But yeah, like honestly, I would love for more people to come on the bench and just like talk a little bit about their faith and like have a little discussion about their faith, like where it's affecting them, how it feels. I'd love to get someone who literally just became a Christian yesterday. I'd love to get someone who's been a Christian for 10 years. I'd love to just like, I love seeing faith talk. I love seeing faith talk. But yeah, man, I'm just rambling. Let me not ramble on too much. All right, so this was fun. I'm gonna do the YouTuber exit, as Mandy calls it. I'm gonna do the YouTuber exit. But yeah, this was amazing. Um, if you like the content, please do like. It helps a lot. Please do comment. It helps even more. Please do subscribe. It does a world of good if you do subscribe. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. It does help a lot. Um, if you like the content, share with your mom, share with your dad, share with your brothers and sisters, share with your friends, all that type of stuff. Yeah, man. More content coming soon. Stay tuned. But yeah, it's been your boy Franklin, and I will catch you later. Peace out. Deuces, deuces.